Hey guys, it's Tiffany of Tough Angel Books, and for this podcast, I'm going to be talking about Fractured Masks by D.L. Wainright. Now, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know I absolutely love The Hollow Sun, which is the first book in the series. Fractured Masks is the second book in the Hollow Sun series, and most of the time when you read a second book, you tend to hit this like the second it's like the second book slump, or so, I think it's called that, like the sequel slump or something like that, because it never matches the first book. But in this case, Fractured Masks definitely hit the mark for me, because it had a lot going on. It reflected back on the first book a bit, answered a few of the questions, and then kept going and just got you more and more interested in the storyline and just, the characters in general. There is one tiny fix I need to make regarding the Hollow Sun review I did. Nons are actually non-human. So I was right in saying that Lucy, one of the four main characters, was a non, but I was using the wrong I was using non in the wrong terminology, because at that point I think I had just finished watching Fantastic Beasts, and they have no Madge in the American wizarding world, so I translated nomad into nons into whatever became the end result. But I read this a few months ago. I actually finished reading Fractured Masks shortly after I stopped making videos, like actual videos. And I had meant to post a video about this ages ago, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually make a video, fuss with my camera and make a video, or just post my review on Goodreads and leave it at that. So I'm chatting a lot about this, but I really do enjoy this series. D.L. Wainright has mentioned that they are going to, they would like this to be a 7-book series, which I think would be great, because these are really quick reads. They have a lot going on, a lot of detail, but it's quick reads. There's only maybe, once you finish reading the book, you'll reflect back and go, well, maybe that shouldn't have been there, but it helped with the storyline. And D.L. Wainright is an amazing author. I am so happy I've been able to read their books, and their third book, Paper Lanterns, was released back in August. I am so annoyed I have not bought it yet, but I work a lot, and last time I went to a bookstore, I bought about $200 worth of books. I don't really want to do that again, but who knows. So for Fractured Masks, the second book of this series, the four main characters, who are Lucy, Jim, Eva, and I'm probably going to forever pronounce this name wrong, Gunther, have all kind of parted. That they ended up on different sides of kind of a war, which would probably be the best way to describe it. Jim is with Gunther, and Eva is with Lucy, and at some points in the second book, this book, Fractured Masks, they all go their separate ways to do what they need to do. And like, the cover of Fractured Masks is Jim. And so you kind of know that the main, like, the ideal focus of this book is going to be around Jim. And I'm not gonna lie, if you follow me on Twitter at Tough Angel Books, if you follow me on Twitter, or if you follow me on Goodreads, you know while I was reading this book, I was very worried for Jim. And I was very annoyed whenever something bad happened to him, or when no one would step in and help Jim out or something like that. And the author, who we mutually follow each other on Twitter, they would reply to every time I updated my reading status. They would reply and go, and it'd be like a very subtle spoiler as to what's about to happen, and I was perfectly okay with it, because if you guys actually watched my book talk spoiler video, I don't have an issue with spoilers as long as they're not like 100% detail. I really don't mind spoilers. I tend to be more interested when I get told a spoiler, which is surprising. Like, for this book, for example, well, you learn this in you experience this in like the first, I think like the first 20 pages, where Lucy makes the engine explode, the engine of their car explode. If you told me that before I even read the book, not telling me where in the book it was, it would actually get me interested. I'm very weird when it comes to spoilers like that. But that's pretty much what I was getting while I was updating my thoughts and everything on Goodreads. And, like, I really did enjoy this book, because even though it's been a while since I've read the book, so I don't remember both organizations. I know there's the Guild, and then there's another organization that, even from page 1 of it being introduced, I had very suspicious thoughts about them. I can't remember the other company's name, and it's gonna drive me nuts, but it's definitely something I need to... I will eventually learn what the other company is. I just can't remember it at the moment. But like, Jim and Gunther are still at the Guild, and Lucy and Eva are at the other place. And like I mentioned, like, each book so far she has written with a primary focus on one of the 4 main characters. So like, Hollow Sun was mainly about Lucy and her discovering this world. Jim's focus was with his art and his sexuality, from what I could tell. Jim is openly gay. You learn that in the first book. It is absolutely amazing to read a book about people from the LGBT community in a fantasy world. Even though it's a dark fantasy, it's still cool to read about. But this is primarily about Jim and his impact on the storyline, and how he tries to do his best no matter what to do good. Even though he doesn't realize what he's doing is doing good, because there's one point he didn't know he made the best choice of his life. But, you know, that's all I'm going to say spoiler-wise. But no, I couldn't help but give Fractured Masks 5 out of 5. For a second book, there was no slump whatsoever. I absolutely love this book. And you get to know Jim a lot more. You also understand Gunther a lot more. his feelings, how controlled he is with his abilities and that, and how he can like keep himself from shifting and just kind of have his anger under control for the most part. Like, you do actually see him in the book lose control, and it's only for like maybe 2 seconds, but you understand why he lost control because it's very well written and well explained, and I absolutely love it when it's like that. And then you have Lucy, who is trying to understand what is happening, her powers and everything. She is trying to understand what it's like for her family, and definitely with I'm going to kick myself for not remembering her name. Kristen, I think. She gets to know her a bit more and also help Kristen understand what the world they just entered is, especially since Kristen is... I'm probably saying the name horribly wrong. I know it starts with Chris, but I think it's Kristen. I'm pretty sure it's Kristen. But Lucy gets to know Kristen and introduces her more into this world. And then you also have Eva, who goes on a mission, pretty early in the book. She goes on a mission, and I'm trying not to spoil this because I really think you guys should read this, but the primary objective is information, and you do get information. It's just the type of information you get, you're not sure if it's really helpful. Like, even when you're reading it, even if you have no idea what's going on, you kind of end up second guessing the information you get. But I really can't stop raving about this book. It is absolutely amazing and so well written, and I need to get my hands on paper lanterns. But I will eventually get to that. It's not that expensive. It's just I need to get the time to actually... This is going to sound like a stupid phrase, but I need to get the time to go buy it online. It sounds stupid, but I'm very busy and I don't actually shop online that much unless it's for books. So, but that's going to be it for this book review. I know I rambled a lot about this. I have a few other books that I plan on doing book reviews for in the near future. I still have no idea what my schedule for this is going to be like. Right now it's going to be when I can, as I can. But that is it for this. Wow, I screwed up halfway through that sentence. Okay, that is it for this book podcast review. No, that's not what I want to end this. That is it for this book podcast. This has... The Hollow Sun series is one of my favorite books. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It is really well written and fast paced, and they're not long books. They're less than 300 pages, so you guys can actually get through it really quick. I highly recommend it. Follow me on Twitter at ToughAngelBooks, and you will find out when I'm posting my next podcast. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, and hit the like button if you enjoyed this review. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts of the modern dark fantasy. I'm forgetting English. If you are on SoundCloud, please hit follow. And until next time, happy reading.